It's Mother's Day here in England. It's the 13th of March, Sunday the 13th of March, so bang smack in the middle of March. And today I'm coming to you from the shed because it is so windy outside. So you can see here I've got a load of tubs that we filled with horse muck. So Stephen's drilled holes in the bottom of them because these tubs were done with. We couldn't use them for anything else. And we've actually got an old heating tank tub there that was going to get thrown out by our neighbour. So of course we asked to have that as well. That too has had holes drilled in it, and I'm filling these with some of my second early potatoes so that I can actually move them about to get away from the frost if we do get any frosts and things, which we probably will. So right now these are about halfway full with rotten horse muck, which we've got in abundance here. And I'm also using the heating tub one, the black one, for carrots. So I'm going to quickly show you what I'm doing there. So this tub here has got 3 Charlotte potatoes in it, so you can see I've just labelled it. I've actually used plastic labels and permanent marker because I'm finding that anything else is just washing off. So, and what I've done is just put 3 potatoes in and then just covered them up with a little bit of compost. So there is purely rotten horse muck in there and a tiny bit of compost on the top, and I'm finding that that's working really well. So we've got the other ones here that I'm going to look to see what else I'm going to put in there. And this heating tub, you can see it's just repurposed. I've got autumn king carrots in there, so 14th of, oh, it's actually the 13th, I've put the wrong date on there, never mind. So I've got 4 lines of carrots in there, and that is halfway full with horse muck and also just quite a bit of compost on the top. I know you're not supposed to use horse muck traditionally, but we've never had a problem with it, so looking forward to see how these get on. The chives are coming through fantastically, really pleased with those, and equally as exciting for me is this wild garlic, ramsons. So as soon as that's through, I'll be making lots of recipes with those. Quick update in the polytunnel. So the spinach and the salad leaves are coming on well. Filled in some gaps here with some of those broccoli strombonis that I showed you guys. That's still empty for now. And what I've actually put in here yesterday, I think it was, 4 rows of beetroot and 1 row of carrots. They're just the little stump-rooted carrots, so they should be fine in the polytunnel. And then we've got more broccoli that's been intercropped there with the salads, and some purple, the turnips, purple top Milan turnips there as well. So looking well in here. 17 degrees in here. These peas are coming on fantastically. So these are the Meteor Peas. I think I'm actually going to plant these out today. I'm going to move this chuckleberry outside so that it stops hanging onto the greenhouse heat. And I'm probably going to, these are all year round cauliflowers. I think I'm going to put some of those outside as well and just take the risk with a little cloche over them. These cabbages are coming on really well. These are radish. They've gone really leggy because I actually grew them in the house. So these are all cabbages at the back. Got some leeks here. Parsley. Celery's looking well. Pleased that that started to come on. And some leggy beetroot. Threw a few artichokes in a pot, see how they'd come on, because I think we won't get these until next year. And this is cardoons, so just looking forward to growing some different things this year with that. I've got my onions here, which I'll be putting out shortly. And then up here I've got, these are the crimson flowered broad beans, which are going to be grown over near the house, I think. Some sorrel that I've put in, beetroot, all year round cauliflowers in both of these, so these will be going down to the preserving paddock bit. Salad and just more beetroot here. Now interestingly, these Taunton Dean coming on fabulously, so I really want to try and get them in the ground. I might take the risk and put one in the ground today, see how we get on. Now these cauliflower I've been gardening for years, honestly. Now these onions, I just grew in the greenhouse as spares, so I do have a few gaps outside, and these are the onion beds there. So I'm just going to go and fill those in, otherwise these are going to stay in the greenhouse forever. There's that bed filled in. I don't know about you, but a nice onion bed is one of my favourite things about gardening. Now unfortunately this one here, which has got garlic, onions and shallots in it, it's got a lot more gaps. These 3 rows are lovely. We'll figure that out somehow. One thing I have noticed about the ground when I was just putting those baby onions in is how cold it is. So it's really not up to a reasonable temperature yet. I've probably been far too early with the carrots and parsnips that I tried to put in the other week, but that's okay, we've got plenty more of those seeds. But yeah, I'm not going to put the potatoes in just yet, because I did read somewhere that if you can put your hand in and leave it in comfortably, it's about right. Anything else is too cold. So for the potatoes outside in the ground, I'm going to hang fire on those. I'm going to get some more in some of these bucket stokes. I want to see how they get on. Before I do that, this is the ones that are inside. So you can see these are just starting to shoot. So these went in on, oh, I think it was the 19th or the 16th of February. And they're just starting to come through now. So I will cover these up. You can see this is just spent horse bedding. Absolutely fine. They'll love it. Don't think any of the others are coming up though. Not just yet. So I do need to make sure I keep these watered. Oh, and incidentally, I'm being very brave this year. I'm actually throwing out plants that are no good instead of trying to save everything. Back in the shed, and I've brought these guys in the shed from in the house. They've been in a propagator and they're doing fantastically. They're my peppers. And look, I can tell you exactly what they all are because I labelled them all so well. But I labelled them with a pen that doesn't do well in water. So thankfully I took a photo so I can go back and check. But just a tip, if you are using these wooden lollipop sticks instead of plastic, be sure to use a permanent marker because they hold up a lot better, or at least take a photo, have some record. Anyway, I'm going to get these potted on now. I'll be planting them deep like you do tomatoes. They'll hopefully be able to establish better in some nice big pots. They've grown so quickly, I haven't been able to keep up with them, so better get busy. Thought I'd show you my setup here. So in the shed, I've got this little device contraption that Stephen pulled together for me. Essentially it's just so that I can work on here, so that anything that spills doesn't get wasted and make everything else dirty. Can just put it straight back into the pot. I'm using B&Q's actually multi-purpose compost, along with some of the vermiculite, which is just from Wilco, this one. And all I do is just mix it together for things like peppers and tomatoes, things that I want to try and really make sure that they retain as much moisture and I'm not having to let them dry out as possible. And just popping these into, I don't know, whatever size pot those are. I'm not very good with with measurements. Yeah, so essentially now I'm going to use my trusty device, which is, I'm going to use my trusty pen to help me prick out. So you can use anything. You could use the other end of a knife, you could use a chopstick, you can use anything, a pencil. I just use this because I'm writing with it all the time. It means I won't lose it. And essentially what I'm going to do, I fill these up, I push it down with another plant pot so that it's quite compact. I'll put a hole in with the pen, and then I'll grab one of these out of here just by freeing it up with my pen, lifting it out by the leaves, and then I'll put it all the way in so that it's quite deep rooted, and then I'll just give it a little water once they're all done. So this is the technique I use. I just fill one of these up, use another tub just to push it down, pen, get my pen, push quite a deep hole in, and then over to the, this is Hungarian hot wax that I'm actually taking out, so very gently just freeing up the roots. Wow, there's some roots on that one. And then over to the pot, pop these back in, a little bit of encouragement if needed, and then just use your fingers. There you go, and on to the next one. Left to do. So the ones I've got left are jalapeno, sweet banana, serrano, ring of fire, king of the north, and yellow bell. I've got pepperoncini here, and then I've got poblano, Anaheim, and underneath I've got Hungarian hot wax. So these guys are going to go back in the house now, and then I'll continue on with these, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. And then all of these will be in the house to stay nice and warm, and then hopefully in a week or two I'll be able to get them in the greenhouse on some heat. Incidentally, I've had 100% germination rate from all of the peppers so far, so I sowed at least 10 seeds for all of them, and we've had great results. So I'm really excited about these this year, because I'm hoping that we're going to get lots to be able to can and preserve. So in the house we've got 8 big mamas, 9 romas, and 9 more plum varieties, 10 San Marzanos. There's 3 Tabasco peppers there, looking a little bit unhappy, and 4 Opalka tomatoes, which I had bought from Hungary. So on another windowsill in the house, we've got 1 Sweet Million, we've got some Alicantes, some Golden Delicious, Moneymaker, and a couple of Ildies. These guys are going to get potted on this week. And finally in the house we've got some chili Santanas there, and then we've got some Bloody Butcher tomatoes. These need watering actually. I'm going to get the water and do them guys now. All of a sudden it's the evening and all of the peppers are in the house now. They've been watered, they've been given a temporary home because I need to find some new windowsills for them. But I hope you've enjoyed this little look around what we've got going on with tomatoes and peppers and the odds and sods that we've got going on at the moment. I'll keep posting guys, so if you're interested, please like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.